screamed loudly and gasped for air. She looked around as if someone has possessed her, her eyes wide open in horror, her hair a mess, her body shivering and covered with sweat. She repeatedly shook her head, trying to shake off the fear she just experienced in her dream. He can never do this to me. Never. Despite stuttering badly and having an unknown doubt growing in her heart, she tried to console herself. What happened, Vine? Mizo entered her room and became confused after witnessing her distressing situation. Just woke up. But you here? This early? Yeah, was missing you so I came to have a breakfast with you. But Aunt told me you're having nightmares these days. She spoke while sitting on Vine's bed facing her. I don't know why. I know the reason. What is that? You're not in touch with Ty like you used to be. You're afraid that he will make girlfriend, hence you're getting nightmares about it. Chuckled slightly at Mizo's nonsense. Only, first and foremost, no one is stupid enough to date your idiot brother. Secondly, why would I be frightened that he will make a girlfriend? Oh, come on, Ryan. You think I don't know? I know everything about you. Like what? Spoke in a challenging tone. Like you have a big fat crush on him? No, I don't. Try to laugh it off. You should not take your diary to sleepovers, especially not to my house. You read it? Asked being terrified. Yes, I like men. Proudly admitted. Unni started hitting her with a pillow, laughed while trying to control Ron. I don't regret a thing, and I'm very happy. You will be my sister-in-law and we will have a lot of fun together. We will team up against him and beat him up. Excitedly spoke. Vine eventually stopped striking her, sat up straight and talked while combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. He does not love me. Are you blind? Haven't you seen how he treats you? He just teased me, rolled her eyes. It's his love language, Ryan. Is he close to any other girl like he is to you? That's because he has known me since childhood, and we don't know if he is dating someone else because it's been 2 years since he left. He is not calling often like he used to. Must be busy with his girlfriend. Her eyes filled with tears at the mere thought of it, and she looked down to hide the tears from me. Mrs. smacked Vine's head before ruffling her hairs and said, You are a crazy girl. I'm not crazy. I just don't want to get heartbroken. And also, that was a thing of the past. I used to have a crush on him. I no longer have feelings for him. Lied while bearing a stone on her heart. Before Mizo could react, her mobile phone screen lit up, making her smoke. I hate him. Who? Your brother, Kim Taeyong. I hate him. Mumbled while looking down and pouting a little. Why? She rolled her eyes, knowing Mizo was teasing her. Because he stinks. Says the one who don't even take showers in the morning. Vine gasped and gave Mizo a look of betrayal, who was holding her phone in front of Vine's face, showing Taeyong her view. Vine lunged at the phone, covering the camera with her hand, making Mizo chuckle as she retrieved her phone to save it from Vine's clutches. You guys are animals. Seriously. Who stays in bed till 3 p.m.? Scoffed, being jealous of their luxurious life without worries. Vine jumped in front of the camera, sat beside Mizo, and scoffed to get herself prepared for their mandatory battle of who can be more irritating. Oh yeah, you will see us as animals when you have those perfect girls with you. Enjoy their productive company and stop disturbing us. Gave him a mean look through the camera. Jealousy is a disease, and you are suffering. Made a way of concern because he knew it's enough to ignite her. Only you can heal her fire, laughed her out. Vine smacked her arm and flew away from the camera view with the speed of light to cover her embarrassingly red face with a pillow. I was sitting on the other side, confused on their usual. Vine kept winning and inaudibly cursing, while Mizo kept laughing until they heard a female voice from the other side of the phone. Taeyong, what are you doing? The colors on Vine's face faded. Miso was about to end the call as she did not want to witness Vine's happiness and before it had even begun. But Vine stopped Miso by grabbing her hand. She was curious about what fate had in store for her. And if Taeyong is not for her, she wanted to become acquainted with reality before it was too late. I'm muting you guys, I'll be right back. Saying this, he clicked the mute button on the video call, but to Vine's luck, it did not work, and they heard the thing which made Vine go bad. What were you saying, Stacy? I was saying we have to complete our project. What are you doing? I'll be free within few minutes. I'm talking on the phone. To whom? Wiggled her brows to tease him as they were good friends. My sister and my fiance. Smiled. Oh, carry on, the project can wait. Winked at him and exited the room to give him space. Tang turned his face towards the female looking at him through the screen with their mouth open in shock. He gazed at the volume button to unmute them but froze at his spot after discovering it already unmuted. Gulped. What did you guys heard? Everything. Miso started wheezing like a dying whale. Meanwhile, Van quickly ended the call, not being able to handle the embarrassing environment anymore. Fell on her back while laughing. He must be busy with other girls, mimicked Van's word in a mocking way. He is busy telling them girls that he is taken by you. She continued laughing while Vine rushed to the bathroom with her hand on heart, as she could not believe what she had heard just now. She looked in the mirror only to encounter her happy self, which she hadn't seen since 2 years. She let out a few steps of her happy dance and jumped around the bathroom as if she had won the lottery. After a few moments of celebration, she stood straight and faced the mirror again. How will I face him? Covered her mouth. She asked herself while the butterflies erupted in her stomach at the thought of him being hers, and she forgot about her nightmares once again. Two years later, Vine returned home after a long day at university. She let her fatigued body fall on the soft mattress and released a deep sigh. She closed her eyes to get some sleep but opened them again after getting the nightmare. The same kind of nightmare which she had been having for the past 2 years. The nightmares in which Taeyang does unspeakable things to her. She should get used to it now, but it hurts different every time, and it gives a different type of nervousness and scary feeling every single time. Forget about him, Ryan, as he did. Yes, She thinks he has forgotten about her. Why wouldn't she think like that when he does not even talk to her? Maybe once in a blue moon? The distance between them has grown and the vibe went missing. But that does not mean that Vine has changed. She is still the same naive girl who admires him from afar. She religiously rereads their old chats, which are filled with their non-stop bickering and teasing, follows him on all social media platforms, looks at his pictures day and night, and reimagines all of their memories together. Meanwhile, he matured. 2 years back, when Mizo asked him why he introduced Vine as his fiancée, he laughed it off and named it a prank. It broke Vine's heart. Yet, as always, she did not let anyone else be the witness of her misery except her pillow. She acted in front of Mizo as if she did not care, as if it was a little infatuation that faded with time. But only she knows how hard her heart screamed every time she denied loving him. Mizo, haven't met her over a week. She was about to call her, but an idea popped in her mind that why should she call her when she can pay her a visit? Vine asked her driver to drop her at Kim's house. At Kim's mansion. Oh, Vine, come inside, honey. How have you been? Hugged Vine. Good, auntie. Where is Unni? She's upstairs. Looked worried for some reason which Vine noted. What happened, auntie? Is everything alright? Vine, Mrs. is not okay. She's stressed about something and has not been eating well. And she spent most of her time locked in her room. When I asked her, she told me everything is fine, but I know it's not. Please ask her. Only you are close to her. Perhaps she will share something with you. Don't worry, auntie. We'll ask her. Patted Mrs. Kim's back to calm her down. You go talk to her. I'll make your favorite food and send it to her room. Go. Smiled hopefully and sent Vine to Mizo's room. Vine knocked at Mizo's door but got no response. She called her out, and within few seconds, Mizo opened the door. However, her condition made Vine worried. Mizo, who adored lights as if she had to perform photosynthesis, was now living in the pitch black darkness. Vine turned on the lights and gasped at Mizo's messy state. Her room, hair, and life by the look of it were all upside down. The dark circles under her eye were telling a whole new story of her sleepless nights and unhealthy mental state. What is this, Unni? Her tone was a mix of concern and disbelief. Vine held Mizo's shoulder and guided her to the bed. Meanwhile, Mizo was looking down the entire time. Who did this to you? Looked at Vine's face with horrified expressions. Who? No, no one did. Shook her head side to side. I did. I'm a little stressed. Her reaction upon Vine's question made Vine more concerned about her. It was not normal. No. You can't do this to yourself, nor stress. Tell me, who drove you to this point of insanity? Asked in a firm tone, indicating that she is not banging lies. I don't know why I'm being like this. She cried and started rubbing her face in exasperation. Vine grabbed Mizo's hand and noticed something. The floor beneath her feet slipped when she found bruises on her wrist. Despite Mizo's resistance, Vine uncovered her arm only to witness more bruises along with some. Who did this, I asked. Demanded the truth in a loud voice. Kept looking down as tears fell from her eyes and landed on Vine's hand. I did. And it's me. looks at Ryan. Yeah, you can, but what about these bruises? Mizo's silence forced Ryan to find another means to get an answer from her. Tell me before I tell about this time. Mizo hugged Ryan and started crying loudly. Ryan immediately wrapped her hands around Mizo in a protective manner, giving Mizo some sort of comfort with her warmth and soothing voice. After a while, when Mizo's cries subsided, Ryan retreated from the hug and asked her, "Now tell me the reason. You can trust me on me." Cupped Mizo's face to make her look into her eyes. Held back her tears. She hesitated. He hurts me. Who? A worry looking into Ryan's eyes. My bully at work. Who is he? Did Hinro Oppa know about him? No, no. Ryan, please don't tell Hinro. Please. She started crying again and begged Ryan as if her life depended on it. Ryan was taken aback by Mizo's pleading, so she nodded her head, not wanting to add more stress to her anguish. Okay, I won't. But we need to do something about it. How about the hound? He's going to come back soon, right? You will tell, hugged Ryan again and began sobbing. He's not coming back, Ryan. It would have been easier if my brother had been here. I wouldn't have to go through this. Sobs. Thang is not coming back, cried Heather. It shook Ryan's world once again, but looks like she was used to him abandoning her. She gulped her tears down and spoke. He completed his studies, right? Then what's the deal? Pulled back from the hug. He has set up his business there and is also handling a first branch there. He will be very busy for the next few years. Oh, that's good. Wiped Mizo's tears. But don't worry, I'm here. I will see your so-called bully. No, Nate. I'm resigning from the work. Why are you resigning? He should be the one leaving. It's okay. I don't want to work in that company anymore. I'm looking for other opportunities. Jail time for you, bully? Let's leave him for time being. Therapy for you? When you are here, I don't need any more. Finally let out her signature cheeky smile. You are my therapy. Ew, say it again. They both laughed and Ryan set Mizo's tangled hair before saying, Everything is said then. Now wipe your tears and let's go get some fresh air after having food. Auntie's making our favorite one. Mizo passed Ryan a weak smile concealing millions of secrets behind it.